Let's run.
3.5 weeks in
right?
New Zealand. Starting, we flew into Auckland and right on to Churchill, and then we, or Christchurch, and then picked up our RVs there and staking back and forth across Southern Island, and then took the ferry.
The only experience in New Zealand was the airport. So
yeah, we did. We did both islands, and then we flew from Auckland to Cairns. And we're in a hotel there for 3 days, and picked up our RV and started driving south and discovered how many sugar cane fields there were.
So you had rental RVs set up for you?
We went on with Fantasy RV tours. It was billed as 51 days, New Zealand and Australia. And then
Do you know what they call those seats?
A 12-day extension into Alice Springs and on out to Uluru and.
Oh, wow.
You take both hands out like this.
And then the hard part was 3 days on the beach and Fiji on the way home.
Why was that hard?
That was just pure relaxation. That was fun. But when we lucked out because when we flew back from Alice Springs back to Sydney. And then spent one night in a hotel near the airport and then flew on to Fiji the next morning. But the first thing we did after we got into our room was go downstairs with one other couple, get a cab, and go straight back down into by the Opera House, which is the 2-week display that they have every year of lights on all the buildings, but on the Opera House. It's like a laser show, but it's patterns.
Are you
shift constantly from one to the other.
You remembering this? Get some ideas?
Yeah. We're planning on going. Yeah. We're going to go visit Joe, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, the Vivid is on usually the last week in May, first week in June, that time period.
So I still don't know when we're planning on going. When are we planning on going?
But it depends on where you're going to be.
April-ish.
Yeah, 1521, you flew to Talbot, number 1 panel.
That's it.
Talbot number 1.
Well, we were in May.
All right, good to go?
May is good to go. The weather's cooled down. So it's not going to be as hot. It was still plenty warm.
Yeah. RV, when we go.
Well, and that was the purpose of this meeting, to get out and go a lot of places, and you're not having to stay in hotels or eat out all the time.
Yeah, that slapping sort of a slap switch. It's set so that something coming this way will go straight. And us coming on the curve, it'll let us go through. Right. Even though it's not, it's against it, so to speak.
I see.
Right, pick it up. Right behind 83.
Yeah.
838. That'll make me walk, huh?
What's that?
Yeah, shut it down.
Oh.
No. Put the brake on. Hold.
Break.
You should have sent one of the boys out to do it, Daddy.
Why don't we send one of the boys out to do it?
Yeah. Who wants to go get the paddle out of the board?
Oh, that's right. We actually have to get out and get the paddle. So now,
Okay.
yeah.
He wants which one? The number 1?
Yeah. Number 1.
So now, what's the sequence of the paddle numbers, and like how does
He's
that?
only going to send 2 cars. So the second car
Okay.
is the one that takes the large crane. If we're sending 4 cars, then the first car takes 1, second car takes 2, third car takes 3, fourth car takes large crane.
Gotcha.
Once that large green is gone, is a do not enter behind it.
Right, because now you're.
That means thou shalt not enter. Otherwise, you're about to have a head-on collision somewhere.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, we got the paddle?
We have the paddle.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right.
He cleared your back.
Talbot Park.
clear?
Now we are.
I don't know, I think these took a lot more skill than the newer ones. It'd be pretty hard to be texting while driving one of these.
Yes.
It's hard to be texting.
It's not tough if you pay hours and stand there and drive.
Some, depending on the big cars, some of them had seats. What was hard though was
So you can walk in parallel along here if you want.
the vestibule was not enclosed. So that's one reason they started closing because everyone was running it was out of the elements. Now in the summertime it's nice. Because they did not
Yeah.
And what happens is, losing 600, and it goes across the interstate, it picks up 600 again. It's not good for the
those
motor.
are fine in the summertime.
Yeah.
And the trolley companies
So we kill the
build
motor.
those to take passengers on Sundays out for a cooling ride, because otherwise they weren't earning any revenue on Sunday. And this way they could get people to go for a ride out in the countryside on Sunday and people are like the same way as they go trolley cars.
So you said the top speed was what, about 28?
And,
28 top speed.
as a destination.
Somewhere in that area.
And it's powered by.
So how many miles do you suppose a car like this would have done in service?
Find out.
But it was awfully hard to maintain two fleets of cars. One weather in the summertime and the other one for winter. And so they made cars like these.
Out of the Atlantic shoreline, they did every half hour. Now, whether they had two in a passing in the right, or I don't know. But they had them every half hour.
Right. Now, is there any kind of like sort of mileage life expect? I mean, these things, they just keep going, right? I mean, the service.
As long as the motors still work, as long as you keep them oiled and
Right. I mean, as long as they're maintained well, they just keep running, right?
made.
I mean, they still run.
This car home that we built, I know.
Yeah. What's the,
1 mile was the end of the Gotcha. Actually, I think of it, filling up this subway car at the moment. Some of these days are gonna find out how long the actual run from the business down the road. Maybe, yes, our car should be.
And then there's
what this incline is? It's always hard to judge. It always feels like it's more than what it is.
You look behind you, you see the bill.
Any kind of highs because
It's like it's probably what, 15, maybe 15% there.
I've never found another one like that anywhere.
What's the max? Maybe like 10 or something.
No, we ate a lot of blueberries and but the little bush blueberries are so
Yeah, Australia, quite different.
There was one fine bush, but our company put that out.
You should be on the coast well beyond.
I know it's great. Chemicals all the time in the area.
One thing when you're operating, you want to watch those lines so they'll light up for you.
4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 5.
Yeah. My HOA is,
Yeah.
turn around and look behind you. Watch the light.
My mom would say, you guys are blueberries. My brother Mark would drive us out there. Yeah.
Gotcha. So once you see that flick, you know you're clear.
I listen for it. I can hear it.
Oh, really?
He would just stand there and say, I want
A little bit more.
So I would eat blueberries just as fast as I could. Yeah, it was so great. Okay, I have to fill my bucket. Like, yeah. And then I look around, and there ain't berries. And like, oh, like, some just a little bit. I'm like, you're evil.
Yeah.
I learned later that he was just not wanting to eat blueberries. So he pretended, like, but they have blueberries around, but they're different.
Oh, no.
They're blueberries, they're berries.
Yes.
He was not. Oh, I have to stand
How
guard.
long did you live in Alaska?
3 years.
Coaster right in.
When we were up
Yeah.
there last year, I was
I
talking
do
to
that
little
often.
girls from the campgrounds that we were in.
Cold.
And I said, do you have trouble
too much, just grab
getting
quick.
used to
Yeah.
The
the
dark.
darkness?
Yeah,
And she
that's
said,
tough.
no.
Yeah.
We have more trouble getting used to the light in the summertime. Because when it's dark, you do go to bed and get your sleep.
Yeah, we wait for the
Set the alarm to wake up. But in the summertime, it's light. So and we found the same thing. You're out there, it's midnight. It's like, oh, it's midnight. And we've got to be on the boat by 6 o'clock in the morning or something. And
Yeah. I think if you're born and raised up there, it's like my brothers, when we moved down out of Alaska, my brother and my oldest sister stayed up
Fleet.
there. And
So it's a good thing it's not
they
raining.
raised children. And
Because I don't have a cool hat like this.
because it's just, it's
Keep the
normal.
rain out.
yeah.
I think if you go up there as an adult, then it's way harder.
It's hard, yeah. Well,
And
and
she had
the,
those blackout curtains, and she had blackout shades and blackout
it's
curtains.
building
and
up.
then she
If you want to make some money,
Yeah.
we've got cushions in the back. You want to go up and down and see
Something
what
to
passengers
do.
want to rent some
what
cushions?
we did was we stopped at Camping World and bought a roll of the silver
It's maintaining
insulation
about 70
that
pounds
that you can get to put
Car
up
stops
at
at
windows and
about
things. But just got that and cut that and we have day-night shades in our RV.
Yeah.
And so we just slid that up behind them in the bedroom and left it like
Yeah.
that. And we closed the door between the bedroom and rest of the every night. So
Yeah.
So you got 3 cameras yet?
Yep, as of Wednesday.
Thank you for the ride.
You're not back alive yet.
Yeah.
He's good.
Unless
Good.
unless you're nervous, I can open the door. You can walk.
No, I'm not nervous at all. I
Trainees
think
have been
you're
at
doing
this for several weeks and they're not that good.
Say that again?
We've had some trainees who've been teaching how to drive trolley cars, and they've been at it for several weeks. They're not as good as he is.
He's very mechanically inclined. So are these two.
How old are you guys?
15 and 11.
yeah.
Well, I knew rules when you get to be 18, you can drive these things.
Well, and this one just got behind the wheel of a car for the first time about a week ago.
Uh-huh.
So the learning begins.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
When
One of
it's
our
15,
granddaughters
you'll
lived
be
summers
sorry.
up here with us when she was that age, and her father had let her drive his car once or twice in the city, I guess, or in a parking lot, but she learned to drive up here in the property. So I drive her
She'll
from the
put a couple
trailer
dents
over
in
to the
the
visitor
fender of
center
the truck
and
too,
back.
but
Yeah,
you wouldn't admit to
but
it.
she would, yeah.
Well, see, the good news is they're already sort of somewhat experienced because we're talking about Monique's parents have about 8 wooded acres. So they have like 4-wheelers and they've got this big rhino thing, you know, it's like one of those big yard tractor things. So they've been driving that for years, and
And a backhoe.
oh yeah, and and they have a big, a great big John Deere tractor, so they've driven that. They've
He picked
the excavator.
what was the thing you picked up the dollar with, or the
That was an excavator. It was the claw on an excavator.
my father put a
Dollar bill? Yeah.
a dollar bill down on the driveway. He said, if you can pick that up, you can have it. Picked it up. And you were only probably 10?
Yeah, he was probably about Teddy's age when.
Yeah, they're both. And I think it's the video games and stuff. Their
Still have that
dexterity.
dollar.
Yeah, I know. You kept that dollar. That was a good dollar.
It's been
Framed on the wall.
yeah. mechanically inclined, but just, you have good visual orientation
We
and.
gotta
and-
introduce him to Chucky and the Pettibone.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
My dad
Pettibone
was like
is a
that. My dad
crane,
was
multi-use
very
crane
much
that can pick up rail, pick up
Oh,
ties.
was that the thing on the tracks?
No.
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 It's,
No,
it's
this is-
over, it has big enormous rubber tires, and it looks like a great big enormous tractor type of vehicle. But it also is a high rail, which means it can go on the tracks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are kind of cool.
You know when they show in the movies a car driving on tracks where they take the tires off and
No,
they
don't
ride
take
on the
the-
rims?
They don't take the tires. Well, maybe in the movies they do.
Well, yeah, no, they're talking like
A high rail vehicle is a railroad vehicle that has little wheels that sit on the rails and jack the rubber up so the rubber rides on the top of the rail.
those are designed to. They're maintenance vehicles, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking just.
Yeah, so in real life, they would do what I'm thinking of, like, in the movies.
The trouble with an automobile, the gauge of the track is 4 foot 8.5. So you couldn't take the tires off and run on the rims, because the minute you hit a switch like that, you're gonna stay there.
Well, and it's all different, all over the world. They've got all different gauges. Depends on what they're on, and
Australia was the craziest though, because each state had a different gauge.
I remember reading that somewhere.
And then
Who came up with that
different
system?
gauge
Great idea.
with the tracks. Each state had slightly different, so that when you got to another state, you had to change all,
Trains.
everything.
All the cargo onto
Yeah,
their-
all the cargo
Yeah.
coming out of one and into the other.
Wow.
Yeah, and they finally gotten it.
I was just
Standardized
thinking the museum could probably pick up a good car from, what was it, over in France? A real brand new one. Because didn't they goof up? They just spent billions on the entire new line, and the coach is too
Oh,
wide
yeah,
to
it doesn't
fit into the station.
Oh, jeez.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Billions of dollars spent on a whole new line of trains, and
They don't fit in the
they had the chassis designers. Well, actually, what would be all the mechanical in the undercarriage? Would you consider that?
Yeah,
Well,
Is it separate from like the coach piece, right?
yeah.
So they had one team. I mean, there was one company, one designer that was responsible for the whole thing, and then they had to source it. So they designed they had one company that was primarily designed for, the mechanics, and then one for the coach. And somebody goofed up and didn't verify the specs for the coach part. So the coaches are too big to fit into the stations. They're like 90% of their stations. They're like 6 inches too wide.
Oops.
Yeah,
Well, I would guess it'd be a hell of a lot easier to go fix the station than it would be the cars.
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
well,
know. That's what they're
The
trying to
reason
figure
why I
out.
say that is because Glenfinnan Station in Scotland was widened to accept a southern engine.
Okay.
The Jacobite engine that they had that runs normally through there is works very nicely, thank you. But the southern engine wouldn't fit through the station. So they had to take 6
Modify
inches
it.
off the platform
Yeah.
to put it in there. Now,
Well,
why
that's
would
what I
they
was
want to do
thinking.
that?
Yeah.
Because the southern engine is the engine that carries what's his name? To Hogwarts. Glenfinnan
Oh.
Station
Oh.
is Hogwarts.
I see. There you go.
Hogwarts Express, that one?
yeah,
Yeah.
but,
That was
yeah.
a southern engine,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't fit into the Glenfinnan Station.
If you have a wooden platform, that's fine, but if you have whole buildings with concrete and everything else,
Yeah, you're chipping
Like
back the
tea.
concrete, and you've got to redo the nose on it.
So
That's
was
not
it-
cheap either. But you're right; it's probably still cheaper than buying a whole new
Yeah.
multi-billion-dollar set of vehicles.
The question is, how many stations do you have to modify?
Well, that's it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't, I don't even remember. I just remember hearing it was all over the news.
So what?
Maybe about a month and a half
What is
ago.
that guy doing for a living now?
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's probably touching up the resume. He might want to omit recent events.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a big oops. Oh, there's a lot of those. That's why you got to get people to check your work.
Now, if you were to drive this thing the other way, all you do is take the handles off there, go down the other end, change the trolley poles, and we're on our way.
That's kind of cool. You drive at both ends. As long as you don't have two brothers who both want to drive arguing about it. Then what happens? Now, if you only have one key, then you know how that works. But... So now, what's the generator doing? Is it
That's in the air compressor.
Okay. So just keep it in the air. Okay. So it keeps our brakes on, basically.
I think the high point is 70 pounds, I think. This is the gauge right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going up a little bit. Dropped down to about 65 and just hit 70.
Roughly the average is 70 pounds.
Yep.
It kicked off to.
Yep, it turned off at about 72 and a half.
Now, if we want to find out, fan that brake a little, and we can drop it down to where it kicks on again, so no pressure then.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep
Nope,
going.
more? Yeah, pop right down.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. Keep going. Keep going until you hear the compressor. See, when you're looking at the one is the reservoir and the other is the actual pressure of the
Yep.
brake cylinder.
Yeah, it's still on 70 with the red one, so.
Well, that's the air tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fan it some more to get rid of it. Otherwise, just sit on it. Sounds like the other car.
So is that the back of the church?
Sort of, they're using one set of doors.
What's
they're
that?
not using
What
one
pressure
set.
did it kick on?
It was down to about 50.
They got the cameras back up, so
They put
So
them
its
in the
range is
camera
50 to
back up,
70.
so
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's got a high-low range
when I
there.
heard he had been there to check it out, I went myself and checked it out.
Because the red was up to about 75, and then the black got up to about 62, and it kicked
They're
off.
all off kilter now, but okay.
Yeah, so you're at 65, 70,
But I thought I don't trust Sean as far as I got.
70, 75, thereabouts.
nobody's gonna be there.
Yeah, so about 62, 75.
Yeah.
So that's good. So your board down there tells you how many trains are out on the loop. So you know who's out there.
Well, I said you can't go until you see the
Can't
green
move
board.
unless we see that green board.
Right. Because that means the other guys have come up and now
I
They'll
thought
put the
that
green
they
the
board.
loop is free.
Didn't they have it for a while that you had to swap paddles?
That's when they first did it, but it was
Was-
stupid to do that.
yeah.
You know, just most of the operators.
Oh, there you
get
go.
very
There's the-
confused.
There's the history of it right there. Manufactured Pennsylvania, 24 to 54.
They made 471 of these things.
Is that all just for Boston, or was that the only place they? What is it? This what do they call it? A Spartan? Was that the only place they
Well,
used those, or was
there's
it?
nothing to this. You
Yeah.
you tap on this wall right here. It's the same outside wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is heat.
Yeah, each.
Yeah, the boys saw the heaters underneath.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Is this one that's used for prelude?
Can't tell you. I haven't been here.
Yeah, used to be.
I don't know.
Huh.
It's one that I would choose.
I didn't remember what cars they used at Prelude when we were coming up.
Go down the
So that wood up there is the actual roof,
Right.
and then there's canvas over that. and then it's painted. And that's all the protection you have. So down there, somebody's probably nudged the canvas and
Yep. Stick went through out of the tree or something. Doesn't take much.
no, it's probably somebody up there doing something.
Oh, scratched it when they were working.
And I saw one picture the other day that I'd love to know the history of, and it was taken around 1900, and it had the motorman and the conductor and all, and a couple people getting off in the front, and one black guy on the back.
Did you guys see when the doors, there's a step there, and that automatically goes in and out? When you open the doors,
yeah.
the step goes out, and then... There they are. Hey,
And what
we're
I
gonna
like,
get a green light.
it may not be fancy, but still, if you look at the hinges, they're not just plain, nothing hinges, they're
No,
slight.
yeah.
But that's the way they used
That's
to
the
do things.
character of it, yeah. Yeah, you don't often see that kind of detail anymore.
Okay, there's your greenie.
Here it is. Alrighty. Alright, Teddy, go collect everybody's money.
Yeah, stamp our stamp.
That's it. Alright.
State Shore Dispatch, this is 5821.
May not be far enough forward.
The advertisement.
5821, Zach Talbert with a green board.
These are mainly,
21, you clear Morrison Hill.
and.
5821 to Morrison.
W1HL712.
On the library, it's from Manchester.
Brake test.
So it was just a matter of just getting to assess whether.
That's all you need to do.
But the beauty is in today's world, have an original one, no matter what condition it's in. You can look at it, it can be restored, it can be restored, but just maybe done, take pictures of it, they can fill in the. They sell some.
Sun's trying to break through. They seem pretty confident about that. Sure. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, really? Chase them up the.
It's hard to tell how much because you don't feel it grab too soon. That's the hard part. Yeah.
And each car is different.
Right.
But,
Yeah. Yeah.
But deer,
Not so much.
Stonewalling.
Yeah. Well,
many times
it's funny
I'll see
because
first thing in the morning,
I mean,
put a tail hawk up
you
on
want
one
to
of
feel a little bit more when it's grabbing because you don't, like you said, you don't initially feel it grab, but it does over. It's a more gradual slowdown.
A lot of people, a lot of the old timers, these things were
Yes, it didn't have the first 2 nights
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
here, there was a fishing.
All right.
Out and out, and then finally it sounded like it was the first, so they went outside with a flashlight. Chelsea was up, she's 22 now, she was up here with us, and she said, I'm not going out there. So I went out with the flashlight, and he said, yeah, I see it. She was the first one out.
You know, unfortunately, I came by and I grew up close to the
Coyote in the yard.
I got a couple of winners. A lot of experience.
And the dog would be out there.
I suppose once you've done it for a while, you don't even think about it. Well, I'm sure changing from car to car, you know. Yeah. It's like a car.
Right stand on the other end.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop here.
Yep.
Hold. Grab it. Release it all the way, you'll roll it.
Yeah.
If it comes after me,
Release it all the
if
way.
it comes after him, you know, he follows me outside.
It was,
Okay, now you can grab
you
it.
remember, a letter to the editor, the Lexington Minuteman, quite a few years ago.
Okay?
They're getting
When they
there.
first developed the white land. And he was incensed because the animal officer in town. She had a fox that crossed the line in her backyard. And then it was.
Down by the,
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, she had built her house. Now, the bear that was out near Estabrook School, that's fine to get that out. The western part of the
You'll get it. Get it eventually.
As we grow as a society, as we get more and more land, there's still animals that live there that's been there longer than us.
Where's this one from?
Philadelphia. So-called bullet train.
Yeah.
Bear better than the other bits. Like, oh.
Yeah, especially some of them have been on
Bingo.
Somebody want to put the power back up?
Trey, you're up. Oh, Teddy, you get it?
Paddle boy.
There you go. Come on, paddle boy. Hey, wait, I got another use for that. Hold on one second. Just before we let it go. You haven't done anything yet, but I'm sure you will. It'll be a down payment.
Yeah. That's the best use for a paddle, is put them on a
Good
board.
job.
Good?
We
All right.
gotta get clearance for you.
All right.
Seashore Dispatch, this is 5821 at Morrison.
5821, you clear to the library crossing, please?
Clear the library crossing.
Thanks so much.
In other words, we're going to be parked in front of that blue line train.
Okay. We'll stop the same place we did last time.
Yep.
It didn't feel that much last night. Just before dawn it started.
Just shut it down.
You don't want to get going to this.
Right. Try to keep it like
You know what the
5 or under.
Don't come close.
Well, and I know the difference between just Lexington and up here. It's serious.
Okay, let me take it.
All right.
All right. Very good. Very good.
All right. Give me an open drawing anywhere, and I can take it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's neat. Oh, yeah.
Sorry?
Press the black button on the back of the camera. Turn it off.